Hi, my name is Emma and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I am a speech and language therapist and today I wanted to give you a rundown on what's been happening. In the last video, it was a vlog update, day in my life, and it has changed a lot since my last day in the life / video. So what I thought I'd do is give a bit of a rundown, and in my rundown I'm going to talk a bit about what my new job is, how I got there, what I did a bit before just to give you some context, and kind of how I'm finding it, what I'm doing. If you've got any questions or anything, then please put them down below. I'm happy to answer them. I am trying, this is me saying it, I am trying to make more videos and upload them, etc, etc, just because I enjoy doing them, and I think life gets in the way and I just don't prioritise it, and obviously work and making money etc comes first, and then I want to socialise, and then there's chill times. Anyway, I'm digressing. I graduated in 2022 from a Masters in Speech and Language Therapy that I did at City University in London. I then worked for a year and a bit in a paediatric community clinic in London, and then I did a bit of bank work in between, working with adults in a community team, and a lot of that was done virtually because I did it alongside my full-time paediatric job, and it was just kind of to get a bit more exposure into the adult world and to try and work out really like what I wanted to do, whether that's something I wanted to fully commit to and, you know, go away from paediatrics, because in England, well, in the UK, I think it generally, you don't tend to do adults and paediatrics, you tend to do one or the other, which I don't like because I like doing both, but that just seems to be a thing. So getting a job in adults is basically a bit of a career change and you don't progress. So for example, I started in paediatrics and I probably could have applied for a higher banded job. So in the UK you start as a band 5 when you qualify, and then you progress to band 6, which is specialist, band 7, which is highly specialist. So what I probably could have done is looked for a band 6 paediatric job. However, because I wanted to try adults as a professional, obviously I did placements with adults which I enjoyed, so I did know I liked it, but I wanted to give it a go as a qualified therapist, and then from there I was the same band, so paediatric band 5, and then I went to an adult band 5, which I'm currently in, but I didn't want to progress and go up a band because you also get paid more when you go up a band, and I knew then I wouldn't want to take the pay cut. So that was my logic behind it, and the community bank team that I worked with was so lovely, and I really liked working with them, and I think that also had played a bit of a factor as to why I looked into adults, because although I loved my job with paediatrics to a certain extent, the community life I think was a little bit less for me, just because it was a bit slower, and also I don't think management was great. I'm just gonna say it. Whether I keep that in, I don't know. So then at the start of this year I did a few interviews. I think I did three interviews, including this one I got. So I didn't get 2 of the interviews that I applied for the adult jobs, and that the first job they said they really liked me, but someone else was better. They already had their dysphagia competencies completed, so they took them instead of me, which is fair enough. And then the second interview I did was for the same trust, and to be honest I didn't do very well in it, and I just didn't feel confident coming into it or out of it, and I felt like I blabbed, and if I feel like I blabbed, that means I really have blabbed, because I feel like I'm a bit like a chat a lot, and if I don't feel like it's making sense, it's really likely not making sense to someone else. And then I went for this job and this post, and I think it was between me and someone else, but luckily they took me. And so I've been in this role since January, and it's in an acute hospital, so it covers all the general wards, and I see a variety of patients. So I see patients who are, there's kind of like different sectors in the hospital. So we've got like the care of the older adult wards, so a lot of the patients there tend to be elderly, more frail, but obviously anyone can be frail, but they tend to be more, and also lots of them have dementia, so that tends to be kind of that population. And then we've got surgical wards, we've got respiratory focused wards, we've got intensive care, etc, etc. So we cover, I say we, myself and 3 others cover all of the wards. So that is my new role. A lot of the new role is dysphagia, so swallowing difficulties, which is a lot of people don't realise that speech and language therapists do swallowing, but that is quite a lot of the role currently. I'd say it's probably like a 80% dysphagia, 20% communication, because lots of the patients tend to be in and then out of hospital because it's kind of an acute, faster pace kind of setting. So from my paediatric placement, I completed the newly qualified competencies that you have to do for the RCSLT, which is the Royal College of Speech and Language Therapists, and then for dysphagia you also have a different set of competencies which I have completed in this job. So that's great. So a lot of that is what I'm kind of doing at the moment. I'm kind of securing my knowledge a bit more on, yeah, securing my knowledge, feeling a bit more confident, doing a bit more, few more complex cases. So they kind of might be patients with more respiratory issues or neurological disorders, just because they tend to be a little bit more complex, which is good. But also I've still got so much support. Like, the management here is so lovely, and so supportive and so encouraging for us to progress, and I feel like I could go to them with, you know, issues and not be judged, which is lovely. And I feel like they genuinely care about my well-being, which is lovely. It really is lovely. The team I work with, I said I've got work with 3 others. So we have a stroke team, an acute team, and then a voice team. And then we've also got an SLTA, who currently we don't have one because our lovely one left and I really miss her. Maybe she'll see this, I don't know. And an admin person as well, who is mostly working with the voice team, and a bit of all the others as well, but the SLTA covers voice, acute and stroke. And so in the acute team we've got 2 band 7s, 1 full-time, 1 3 days, and we've got a band 6 who is on rotation, so she's in a rotational post, which is 9 months in one role, and then you move on to the next. So she's in acute, then she goes to stroke, then she goes blah blah to community, and etc. And then there's me. And then in the stroke team there's the band 7, there's a band 6, a rotational band 6, and a band 5. The band 5's just started, and yeah. And then we've got a band 8 in the voice team and a band 6 in the voice team, and then we've got 2 team leads as well. But everyone's so lovely and so supportive and just so good. So that's really nice, and I feel like I'm learning so much and really encouraged too. And I have my CPD. It's just it's all good. Yeah.